artists, people like Sean Kingston, Akon, Neo, Day 26, a lot of international American artists, as well as Tony Matteron, the dancehall artist as well. We almost, in a spread of 2 years, we've done almost over 20 or 25 different A-list opening acts. We also did a lot of big festivals. The V Festival, we did there's so many festivals that we've done. We performed with big artists basically, and eventually we thought, okay, right, let's obviously do an album, the next album to show our progress. So obviously with the It's Right being number 29, we thought, okay, we'll drop a new album. We thought we'd call it Boomslang because we had just been signed to a label called Boomslang Production. So we call the album Boomslang, which is obviously just basically to show that our that side of things, we kept it very African on the name side of things, but with the music was very versatile, from reggae to dancehall to R&B to soul to music like Westlife. We thought, let's show the world what we can do and what we've been experienced, what we've experienced so far since the winning of the competition. And we released the album. The album did quite well in the UK. We also sold quite a few copies there in Zimbabwe. And then we obviously released Amina Kadea as well, which was obviously one of our biggest singles to date. That went really well for the diasporan people all over the world. Zimbabwe in the beginning didn't actually catch on to it until we went on tour. And then we performed it, and then people loved it. And ever since then, we've been getting a lot of mad love from Zimbabwe. Then after our tour last year, we realized that we need to obviously write one about home, because now thinking about home was very important to us. We thought, we need to write something solid. So we've got a new album coming out April and June called African Spirit, basically. Just, very African, orientated. All the beats are African. There's no pop beats. It's very African dancehall, that kind of reggae style. So, and then obviously the song that obviously is launching the album is Seven Wonders, which is also done very well in and around the world. And it's basically, it's one of those strong songs, about Zimbabwe, and telling people not to forget where they come from, just kind of trying to promote and remind people in the diaspora area that, Zim is the place to be. It's home at the end of the day. Don't forget the roots, And that's the kind of message that we're trying to push out at the moment is, just to remind Zimbabwean people that remember who you are. You are Zimbabwean people. You should be proud. Regardless of the politics, you should still be proud of your country. And that's where we are. We're colored boys also sitting on the fence, trying to say, listen, guys, don't be, be strong. This is your country, support whichever way possible, And the new album is definitely, it's called African Spirit, and it's going to be out very soon. And I think people will really love it. There's a lot of big hits on the album as well from different artists. We featured with a lot of artists, African artists as well, from Juicer Dementa to Decibel to what's the name again? CJ. It's a lot of people, and it's very nice. I'm sure you can obviously agree.
Right. Yeah.
Song.
You've walked quite a mile. Okay. Now, all through this journey, which is, I got to be honest with you, I don't think personally I would have been able to walk half that journey. But great, it's good to reflect where you have come from, how far you've walked, and where you are today. I must ask, what challenges? What are the prominent challenges that you can still recall that you guys have faced during the journey to your career, other than your brother's accident?
The battles that we find all the time is, a lot. One thing I should remind a lot of people is that there's a lot of support out there. There's been non-stop feedback. Some always positive feedback. But, positive feedback is good. It's the first thing that we need as artists to obviously recreate, and that's what keeps us in the game. The only thing that is very hard at the moment, and I'm sure a lot of Zimbabwean artists can relate to this, is, if you're trying to do it as a business, trying to make this music as a business, to actually be independently as an artist is very hard, because apart from just getting the love from Zimbabwean people and everyone around the world, you're still having that problem to say that people do not want to pay. They want to watch you live, but they don't want to pay. The promoters, they are letting us down at the moment from all angles, whether it's in the UK or Australia. Promoters are really letting us down. And also I believe that the government should also try to push Zimbabwean, our generation of music to a high level. I mean, it's good to have people like Akon and Sean Kingston there, and Akon and TOK and everything. But what about organizing big events like that there for us artists, for international Zimbabwean artists like Chiwoniso or Metaphysics or BKay Kazz or even ODS, these guys they're doing a lot of big things, people like Shingai, Tinashe. We're trying to be established international artists, but we will never be able to make that kind of money for it to enter Zimbabwe. I don't know why, but yet we are representing the country on a higher level. So it's very sad, and we hope that this is obviously, if we're going into this business to do this, we were hoping to make good money. You know what I mean? Because we are putting a lot of effort into it. It's not easy.
Now,
it's not
let me hold you there, Kazz. There is a part that I don't understand. This world has become a free market world. Correct me if I'm right.
Yeah.
And there probably, I'm not very sure, but there are probably tens, if not hundreds of promoters probably in nearly every country. And you guys, you enter into contracts, you get some payments agreements that are done that are convenient for you, either 50% down and 50% on before you perform. Why do artists accept to go on the stage before their money is paid?
Okay. For the simple fact that at the end of the day, you also got to realize that we're not signed to big labels, so most of this stuff is done by in-house. As you would say, I would get a friend who's also just as interested as I am into making money to do these kind of things. We accept this because the fact of the matter is that we love what we do. Music is our life. You know what I mean? Ask any artist to jump on a stage, you will jump on it because of the pure excitement when you go on stage. It's like a drug, that adrenaline. Artists love it, you know what I mean? And that's the whole exciting part of the game. And if you got an opportunity to obviously be on stage, it's brilliant. That's why people choose to go on stage first and then get the money later, because at the end of the day, we're not thinking on a business level. But this is where the promoters are supposed to come through and say, right, okay, we will pay you well in advance, because everyone knows the rules of the game, So yes, in some instances, yes, it is the artist's fault, but at the same time, it's mainly the promoter's fault. I'm sorry. But if the promoter is going to obviously do a thing on business level and is paying for the artist, they should pay well in advance. Most artists do say pay in advance, but you get the promoter saying, this is, we'll give you on the night, and and if the night doesn't go well, then the artist suffers, It should be like anyone else, if they are paying for the system or they're paying for the club venue, that is just as important as the artist, So, but I mean, we're all learning. We're all learning at the end of the day, It's all about getting burnt and knowing the business, So
if I'm going to ask you, Kazz, what message would you have to potential promoters out there? I mean, as an artist, on behalf of other Zimbabwean artists, obviously you've gone through it, you understand that challenge, the kind of things. What message do you have that would also harbor this problem? Because to be honest with you, hang on a second. This lamentation has not only come from you. This lamentation have come from every artist, right from as big as Thomas Mapfumo, Oliver Mtukudzi. I was also part of a system that actually brought in people like Freddy Gwala, and if you still remember, and I remember I was working with quite some people who, and we've seen people being lied to, and artists being lied to, and an artist go on stage and when they are not paid, and they actually had to fly back without being paid, which is very hurtful. What message would you have as an artist to promoters out there?
All right. Well, to all promoters out there, if you're asking for a service, then by all means pay for that service. It's like any other service, It doesn't mean that because you're dealing with Zimbabwean artists or dealing with African artists that you show them any less respect. So I think it's all about a level of respect,